Dear Patriots, before the news starts, please subscribe to our patriotic channel by clicking the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up to this video. Don't forget to leave your opinion below in the comments section. Share the news on Facebook and Twitter so you friends see it. Thank you.
Obamacare insurers just had their best year ever, despite Trump. Obamacare is no longer busting the bank for insurers. After 3 years of financial bloodletting under the law, and despite constant repeal threats and efforts by the Trump administration to dismantle it, many of the remaining insurers made money on individual health plans for the first time last year, according to a Politico analysis of financial filings for 29 regional Blue Cross Blue Shield plans, often the dominant player in their markets. The biggest reason for the improvement is simple: big premium spikes. The Blue plans increased premiums by more than 25% on average in 2017, meaning many insurers charged enough to cover their customers' medical costs for the first time since the Affordable Care Act marketplaces launched in 2014 with robust coverage requirements. 2017 was the first year we got our head above water in the individual market since the ACA passed, said Stephen Udvar-Halai, CEO of Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Louisiana. However, one good year won't ease the trepidation many insurers feel as they start planning for 2019. After knocking out the law's individual mandate and a subsidy program worth billions of dollars to insurers late last year, the Trump administration is soon expected to finalize rules making it easier to buy cheaper plans exempt from some Obamacare rules. "I don't think we've turned the corner," said Kurt Kossin, president of retail markets at Healthcare Service Corporation, which operates Blue plans in 5 states. The insurer lost $2.5 billion on its individual market business during Obamacare's first 3 years, he noted. 1 year of being able to make a profit out of 4 certainly is not a stable market, he said. The Politico analysis found the Blue plans spent an average of 80% of premium revenues on medical costs last year. That's below the 85% threshold that's viewed as a rough benchmark for profitability, and it's a 12 percentage point improvement over 2016. They understand the risks of the market better now than they did at the start of the ACA exchanges, said Deep Banerjee, an analyst with Standard & Poor's who has written extensively about the marketplaces. The gains were particularly notable among some of the biggest insurers. Healthcare Service Corporation spent 77.7% of premiums on medical claims, an improvement of 18.5 percentage points over the prior year. Similarly, Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina saw its margin improve by just over 10 percentage points. But not all insurers have figured out how to make money in the troubled markets, which have failed to attract enough young and healthy customers to function effectively in many states. Of the 29 insurers analyzed, 8 plans spent more than 90% of premium revenues on medical costs last year, meaning they almost certainly lost money in the marketplaces. The Politico analysis provides a snapshot of financial performance in the marketplaces in 2017, not a definitive portrait. Combined, the 29 Blue plans had 4.5 million individual market customers at the end of last year, accounting for about 1/5 of the total market for people who buy their own coverage. The healthier balance sheets are a welcome development for insurers after 3 years of major Obamacare losses, estimated at more than $15 billion by McKinsey. That led many national insurers, including United Health Group and Aetna, to flee the law's marketplaces, in some cases leaving Blue Cross Blue Shield plans as the only option for customers. But their improved financial fortunes could also complicate efforts to convince Republican lawmakers to support an Obamacare stabilization package as part of the massive spending bill Congress is trying to pass by March 23. Lawmakers are looking to add new funds to help insurers with especially sick customers and restore a subsidy program known as cost-sharing reductions that helps insurers pay medical bills for their low-income customers. However, a dispute over abortion language is holding up the Obamacare package in Congress. And many conservatives are wary of providing more funding to prop up the marketplaces, deriding it as a bailout for insurance companies. The rates can stay low without these payments, said Representative Larry Buckshon, Republican Indiana, a member of the Energy and Commerce Committee, regarding the cost-sharing reductions that President Donald Trump cut last fall. Insurers argue that looking at financial performance over a single year is misleading, and they say they've been repeatedly blindsided by changes to the law. For instance, because of budgetary restraints Republicans demanded, insurers haven't received an expected $12 billion from a program meant to help them cover particularly expensive customers. Dozens of insurers are now suing the federal government to recover payments. If you don't want to stabilize the current market, what's your solution? Udvar Halai said. The fact that we've hung in there losing hundreds of millions of dollars is a testament to the fact that we do care, but we need responsible action on the part of policymakers right now. Patrick Conway, CEO of Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina, points out his company would have kept 2018 premiums flat if Trump hadn't eliminated the cost-sharing subsidy. Instead, the insurer jacked up rates by an average of 13% to make up for the lost funding. We're dedicated to having the lowest possible premiums for our customers, and market stabilization would help us have the lowest possible premiums, Conway said. I've been traveling around the state and people are really worried about the cost. As insurers start to crunch the numbers on 2019 premiums, they will have to account for uncertainty over congressional funding and recent steps taken by the Trump administration weakening Obamacare. The elimination of the requirement to purchase insurance, which takes effect in 2019, and the administration's efforts to make it easier to sell cheaper, skinnier plans that don't meet Obamacare's coverage requirements, are likely to further destabilize the markets. The insurer's biggest concern is fewer healthy individuals will buy Obamacare plans, either going without coverage, since they'll no longer face a fine next year, or buying a new cheaper plan that covers far less. These things will chip away at the market, S&P's Banerjee said. It's not going to get meaningfully worse, but it doesn't get any better. Insurers are warning that they'll again have to jack up rates in 2019 if Congress doesn't take action to stabilize the markets. A study from California's Marketplace suggests premium spikes around the country are likely to range from 16% to 30% next year. That means many Obamacare customers could be facing sticker shock just weeks before heading to the polls. Polling has consistently shown that Republicans will shoulder most of the blame for future problems in Obamacare, since they're fully in charge of the federal government. That could spur them to begrudgingly take action to tamp down premium increases, despite their disdain for the healthcare law. I think the people in charge, whether it's fair or not, will probably get the blame, said Representative Brett Guthrie, ARC-I, Vice Chair of the House Energy and Commerce Health Subcommittee. Everybody's prices are going up. We're going to have to figure out some way to improve it. Adam Cancron and Tucker Doherty contributed to this report. White House weighs rehiring fired Trump aide McEntee. Senior White House officials are mulling bringing President Donald Trump's personal aide and body man John McEntee back into the administration just days after he was abruptly escorted out of the West Wing. White House Chief of Staff John Kelly told aides during a Friday morning senior staff meeting that there are tentative discussions about finding a role for McEntee in the administration, according to a person familiar with the meeting. The person added that Kelly and others in the West Wing believe McEntee has been unfairly maligned in the media. A second administration official and a person close to the White House confirmed that aides have talked about rehiring McEntee, though it's unclear how advanced those discussions are. White House aides were shocked when McEntee, one of Trump's most trusted aides, was let go earlier this week. In a sign of his status with the president, he was immediately hired as a senior advisor for Trump's re-election campaign. The exact reasons for McEntee's dismissal are still unclear, but multiple people familiar with the issue said it pertained to his propensity for high-dollar gambling, as the Washington Post reported Thursday night. The Post noted that the gambling wasn't illegal, but there were concerns it made McEntee a potential security risk. It's unclear what McEntee would have to do to reassure White House officials ahead of his possible return, and aides said discussions about rehiring him are still in the early stages. Administration officials have privately expressed deep frustration about the initial reporting on McEntee's departure. CNN and other news outlets said earlier this week that McEntee was under investigation for serious financial crimes. McEntee is beloved among many of Trump's senior staff, and he is one of the rare West Wing aides who has won the president's trust. A former University of Connecticut quarterback who gained notoriety for a viral trick-shot YouTube video, McEntee joined the Trump campaign as a volunteer in 2015. He was a regular presence at Trump's side until his departure this week. White House spokespeople did not respond to multiple requests for comment. McEntee couldn't be reached for comment. Trump After Dark, the HR Department edition. Soon. Not quite yet. Eventually? The prolonged goodbye of President Donald Trump's National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster has a familiar pattern to it. Rumors swirl, potential replacements are floated, and then, no immediate action from President Trump. Perhaps even a White House denial. Getting tirsoned, as Politico's Eliana Johnson and Matthew Nussbaum report. Like now former Secretary of State Rex Tillerson, whom the president dismissed earlier this week, McMaster has never clicked with the president, who prizes personal chemistry and likes to shoot the breeze. And as with the Secretary of State, the president decided months ago amid disagreements over his Afghanistan strategy that McMaster wouldn't be a permanent fixture in his administration. But, as the week wound down into the weekend, McMaster was still there. Programming note: Trump After Dark is taking a spring break. We'll see you back here March 26th. Elsewhere in President Trump's orbit. NRA investigated, the FEC is looking into allegations that Russians funneled donations to the National Rifle Association. A Nader problem. George Nader, a witness in special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation, pleaded guilty to child pornography charges in 1991. Storm chasing. President Donald Trump's personal lawyer, Michael Cohen, filed to move a lawsuit by porn star Stormy Daniels to federal court, a move that could make arbitration easier. Bad Analytica. Facebook has suspended Cambridge Analytica, a data analysis and communications firm best known for its work for President Donald Trump's campaign, over concerns that it and other parties improperly obtained and stored users' personal information. There you have it. You're caught up on the Trump administration. Happy Friday.